Hey everyone, and welcome back to Crystal Clear Tarot. I'm Sian, and today we're exploring the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card that speaks about patience and long-term growth, reflection, and the difficult emotional space between effort and reward. This is one of the most relatable cards in the entire deck because almost everyone experiences moments where they wonder, is all of this hard work really going to pay off? The Seven of Pentacles captures that exact feeling. It represents the point in a journey where you've already invested a significant amount of time and energy, emotion and resources, but the final results still haven't fully arrived. It's the moment of standing still long enough to ask yourself whether the path you're on is truly worth continuing. This card is deeply connected to patience, perseverance, delayed gratification and careful assessment. It reminds us that growth rarely happens overnight. Some things take time to mature and not every reward appears as quickly as we would hope it would. So today we're going to explore the rich symbolism of the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery with the upright and reverse meanings and how this card connects to relationships, career, finances and personal growth. So let's begin with the imagery itself. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we see a man leaning heavily on a staff while gazing at a vine growing 7 pentacles. His posture immediately communicates exhaustion, contemplation and reflection. This is not a card of rapid movement or immediate victory. It's a pause. The man appears to have been working hard for quite some time. The pentacles growing on the vine represent the fruits of his labour, the result of his dedication and effort. But importantly, the pentacles are still attached to the plant. They haven't been harvested yet, and that detail matters greatly. The reward exists, but they are not fully ready. The work is producing something valuable, but the process is incomplete. You can almost feel the thoughts running through his mind. Was all this effort worth it? Should I keep going? And will the final result justify the sacrifices I've made? There's pride in this card, but there's also uncertainty. The man's thoughtful expression reflects a deeply human experience, the anxiety that comes from investing yourself into something meaningful without immediate proof that it will succeed. We can also see in the imagery that he has 2 different coloured shoes. This could suggest that he's indecisive about the path that he should take. The earthly imagery of the vines and growth connects this card strongly to nature's rhythms. In nature, growth cannot be rushed. Seeds take time to germinate. Crops require nurturing, patience and care before they can be harvested. The Seven of Pentacles reminds us that life often works in the same way. In tarot numerology, the number 7 is associated with introspection, spiritual development, assessment and inner wisdom. 7s often appear when we're being asked to pause and reflect more deeply on our path. Unlike the balanced harmony of the 6s, the 7s often introduce questions and internal challenges. They encourage us to examine whether our efforts align with our deeper goals and values. The Seven of Pentacles is less about external success and more about evaluating the journey itself. It asks, what have you learned? What have you sacrificed? What is truly growing beneath the surface? And when this card appears upright in a reading, it often signals a period of waiting, reflection, or slow progress. You may feel frustrated that your hard work hasn't yet produced the results that you'd hoped for. Perhaps you've been pouring energy into a career, a relationship, a business or a creative project, or a personal goal that you've been beginning to wonder whether your efforts will eventually pay off. This card commonly appears at a crossroads or turning point. You may be questioning whether to continue investing your time and energy into the current path or whether adjustments need to be made. There can be feelings of impatience, uncertainty, and even emotional fatigue. But the Seven of Pentacles encourages patience. It reminds us that meaningful success often develops slowly and quietly before it becomes visible. Not all progress is dramatic. Sometimes growth happens beneath the surface long before the final rewards appear. This card asks you to step back and assess the bigger picture. Are you actually making progress, even if it's slower than expected? Are your efforts aligned with your long-term vision? Are you nurturing something truly worthwhile? Often the answer is yes. The Seven of Pentacles teaches the value of perseverance and consistency. It reminds us that worthwhile achievements are rarely instant. They require discipline, faith, and the willingness to keep tending to the garden, even when the harvest still feels so far away. At the same time, this card is not asking for blind persistence. One of the most important messages of the Seven of Pentacles is the need for reassessment and adjustment. Sometimes small changes in strategy, perspective, or priorities can completely transform the outcome. Perhaps you need to work smarter rather than harder. Perhaps you need better boundaries, or you need rest, or perhaps you need to redirect your energy towards something more fulfilling. This card gives you permission to pause and reflect without seeing that pause as a failure. In relationships, the Seven of Pentacles often appears when people are evaluating the long-term future of a connection. One or both partners may be asking difficult questions. Is this relationship growing? Is the emotional investment worth it? Are we building something meaningful together? In healthy relationships, this card can indicate gradual growth and emotional maturity developing over time. It often appears in long-term relationships where people are investing effort and building stability and trust. But it can also highlight frustration if someone feels that they are putting in more effort and not receiving much in return. Sometimes the Seven of Pentacles appears during periods of emotional distance or uncertainty, where patience is required while the relationship evolves naturally. It reminds us that healthy relationships are like gardens. They require constant care and nurturing. Love is not always dramatic or fast-moving. Sometimes real love develops slowly through trust, effort, and shared experiences. In career readings, the Seven of Pentacles is strongly connected to long-term goals, career developments, and delayed rewards. This card often appears when someone is working incredibly hard but hasn't yet seen the financial success or the recognition that they'd hoped for. There may be feelings of exhaustion or discouragement, especially if progress feels slow. However, the card usually suggests that the effort is not wasted. It encourages persistence while also advising strategic evaluation. Is your current approach sustainable? Are you investing your energy wisely? And are there adjustments that could improve the outcome? Financially, this card speaks about long-term investments, savings, planning, and delayed gratification. It also encourages patience and practical thinking rather than impulsive decisions. The Seven of Pentacles understands that true stability is built gradually over time. When the card appears reversed, however, the energy shifts dramatically. The reversed Seven of Pentacles often reflects frustration, burnout, disappointment, or the painful feeling that your efforts are just not producing meaningful results. You may feel emotionally drained from constantly working without seeing progress. There can be a sense of questioning whether all the sacrifices have been worth it. Sometimes the reversal indicates poor planning and unrealistic expectations. Perhaps quick results were expected without enough patience or preparation. Important details may have been overlooked, slowing down progress or creating setbacks. In some cases, the reverse card suggests that continuing down the same path may no longer be healthy or productive. This is where the Seven of Pentacles becomes deeply honest. Not every investment succeeds. Not every path leads to what we hoped it would. And sometimes wisdom means recognising when it's time to pivot, let go, or start again. The reverse card asks you to confront reality rather than clinging to something simply because you've already invested so much into it. In relationships, this reversal can indicate emotional exhaustion, imbalance, or dissatisfaction. One person may feel emotionally neglected or tired of waiting for change that never seems to come. In career or financial readings, it can point towards stagnation, poor returns, wasted effort or frustration with slow progress. But even reversed, the Seven of Pentacles still carries an important lesson. Growth takes time, but growth also requires wisdom. Patience alone is not enough if the foundation itself is unhealthy. So this card teaches us the importance of reflection, reassessment, and conscious decision making. Sometimes the greatest transformation occurs quietly beneath the surface while we are learning endurance, discipline, faith, and resilience. This card teaches us to honour the process, not just the outcome. Thank you so much for joining me today in this deep dive into the Seven of Pentacles. I hope this tutorial has helped you better understand the quiet wisdom, patience, and emotional depth hidden within this card. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below. How has the Seven of Pentacles shown up in your life? Until next time, take care of yourselves, trust your intuition, and relax. Enjoy the pause.